Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to our English class. We have been busy with the tenses and their use. We looked at some of the tenses, except the future tenses. We are looking at present, simple past, present continuous, past continuous, and perfect tenses of both and perfect continuous. Only future tense is there. That will come back a little later. We also looked at some phrasal verbs, how phrasal verbs are used to give different meanings. Today we shall take up a new topic, that is agreement of verb and subject. Agreement of verb and subject. I think you have done it in both 9th class and 10th class. But this is also an important topic for 11th. And questions are asked, especially in question number 3. You will get a few questions based on this. So page number is given here. Pages 44 to 48. Pages 44 to 48. Agreement of subject and verb. So when you say agreement of subject and verb, we presuppose you have some idea about what a subject is and what is a verb is. All of you know it. The verb must agree with the subject in number and person. The verb must agree with the subject in number and person. So the verb should agree with the subject in number and person. What do you understand by number? What is number in English grammar? Number is singular or plural? Singular, plural. So verb should agree with the number and person, number of a subject. Verb should agree with subject in number. That is a singular noun, singular subject and plural subject. When the subject is singular, the verb also should be singular. When subject is plural, verb also must be plural. So singular and plural, that you should take note of. Another one is person. What do you understand by person? In English grammar, what is a person or who are the persons? You know that there are three persons. First person, second person, and third person. And again there are singulars, singular and plural. So we are speaking about subject. When we speak about subject, there are three persons: first person, second person, and third person. Again, in every person there is singular and plural. What is first person singular? First person singular is I. I. What is plural? We. Second person singular? You. Plural also is you. Depending on the usage. If we are using mainly for only one person, then it becomes singular. If you are using it for many, then it becomes plural. Then you have third person singular. He, she, it, they. So these are the persons. A few more will be there, but these are the main things. First person, singular is I, plural is we. Second person, singular is you, plural also is you. Third person, singular, he, she, it, plural, they. What are the other things included? Along with I, you'll have my, me, all of things. Here, we will be ours, us. So my, mine, me, ours, us, you, your, yours. Here I can say yours. He, she, it. He we having is him, her, hers, its, all those things. They, them, theirs, etc. Also, these are the persons. Persons. So this also will. I think you may know it. If you do not know, just to. If you know it, you can just record. If you do not know, please take note of it. So these are the first person, second person, third person, singular, plural. So when the subject is singular, the verb also should be singular. When subject is plural, verb also should be plural. Please look up your textbook, page number 44. The verb must agree with the subject in number and person. So we have seen what is number, singular, plural. What is person? First person, second person, third person. First person, second person, third person. That is to say, the verb should be of the same number and person as the subject. The verb should be of the same number and person as the subject. If subject is singular, you must use a singular verb. If subject is plural, you should use a plural verb. And same way, persons, first person, second person, third person. That you also should agree with it. There are certain rules given there, or certain notes, certain things you should remember. A, two or more singular subjects in bracket connected by and take a plural verb as He and I are great friends. Karan and his brother were present. So two or more singular subjects connected with a conjunction like a and. For example, suppose he say, he is a great friend of mine. He is. But when you are connecting it, he and I, two or more singular subjects, he is the singular, I also is singular. He is third person singular, I is first person singular. But when you are connecting it with and, a conjunction and, it takes a plural verb. He and I is great friends is wrong. It should be he and I are great friends. Karan and his brother were present. Karan is first person singular. His brother also is first person singular. But when you combine it with and, Karan and his brother were present. Takes a plural verb. So two or more singular subjects connected by and take a plural verb. So that is the rule you should remember. Rule number 2, B. If two subjects joined by and represent one idea, then the verb is in the singular. We said that when you are combining two singulars using and, we should use a plural verb. Rama and Krishna. Rama and Krishna are popular gods of India. Popular gods of Indians. India or Indians. So, Rama and Krishna are popular gods of India. Rama and Krishna. Rama is singular. Krishna also is singular. But you are combining it with the and. Therefore, Rama and Krishna are popular gods of India. So it should be a plural verb. But there is an exemption. There is an exemption, that is, if two subjects joined by and represent one idea, both together, these two singular together going to represent one idea, then it takes a singular verb. Then the verb is in the singular. Example, bread and butter is a necessity, not a luxury. Bread and butter is a necessity, not a luxury. So, bread and butter is a necessity, not a luxury. According to our rule, what it should be? It should be are. Because two singular subjects connected with it and takes a plural verb. Like Rama and Krishna are popular gods of India. So it should have bread and butter are necessities, comma, not a luxury. It should have it. But these together, that is bread and butter together is expressing one idea. Bread and butter, they go together. Spoon and fork, they go together. So where two things together express one idea, it takes a singular verb. Therefore, bread and butter is a necessity, not a luxury. So this is the exception for this rule. Slow and steady wins the race. Not win the race, wins the race. C. If two singular subjects joined by and preceded by each or every, the verb is singular. If two singular subjects joined by and preceded by each or every. So rule number assumption one is over. One we have seen, now we will see the second one. Every girl, every boy and every girl. Or not, every girl and every boy was terrified. So every girl and every boy was terrified. According to our rule, two singular subjects, girl, boy, combined with the conjunction and, verb should be plural. But here there is an exception. What is that? If a sentence, if two singular subjects are preceded by each or every, preceded, means what? Precede. That is to happen or come before. So, preceded, if these two subjects are preceded by every or each, then it will take a singular verb, not a plural verb. So every boy and every girl was terrified. Every girl and every boy was terrified, not were terrified. Why? Because it is preceded by every. Another example they have given. Each day and each hour brings us happiness. Each day and each hour brings us happiness. So you can try out your own examples. These are assumptions. D. If two singular nouns refer to the same person or thing, the verb must be singular. If the two singular nouns refer to the same person or thing, the priest and leader. The priest and leader has come. The priest and leader has come. So the both are expressing same. The priest and the leader has come. We are speaking about one person. One person who is a priest as well as a leader. For example, your respected Chief Minister, Mr. Yogi Adityanath, he is a priest and leader. So, our Chief Minister, the priest and the leader has come. Our Chief Minister, the priest and leader has come, you can say. Because it's the same person is priest and leader. So it takes a singular verb, has come. Not have come, but has come. If two singular nouns refer to same person or thing, the verb must be singular, as in the priest and leader has come. Because only one person is referred to. The priest and the leader are the same, one and the same. The poet and statesman is dead. The poet and statesman is dead. Is dead. Suppose somebody asks who was the first woman governor of UP? It was Sarojini Naidu. So you can say she was a poet and statesman. The poet and statesman, Sarojini Naidu, was the first woman governor of former Uttar Pradesh. So, when two people are the same person, referring to same person, then singular. So, in the continuing with the same thing, there is another rule, that is, if the article is used only once, this is to distinguish. How do you know that it is referring to one person or two persons? See, you look at the number of articles used, definite article, how many times is used in the sentence? If it is used only once, then it is referring to one person. If there are two, then it is referring to two different persons. If the article is used only once, the two nouns refer to the same person and the verb used is singular. But if the article is mentioned twice, two distinct persons are intended, and therefore the verb in this case must be in the plural. Example, the poet and the statesman are dead. The poet and the statesman are dead. Why? Because it is referring to two different people. One person is a poet, another person is a statesman. The principal and the secretary have arrived. The principal and the secretary have arrived. Have arrived, plural. Suppose principal and the secretary, both the posts are held by one person, then how will you make a sentence? Then you must say the principal and the secretary has arrived. The principal and secretary has arrived. That means one person is holding both the offices. Here it is two people, therefore the principal and the secretary have arrived. We'll go to next rule, rule number E. Two or more singular subjects connected by or, nor, either or, neither nor, take a verb in the singular. Or, nor, either or, neither nor. So these are or, nor, either or, neither nor. This is a format, either or, neither nor. So when we are using these, two or more singular subjects connected by or, nor, either or, neither nor, take a verb in the singular, not in the plural. As neither food nor water was available. Neither food nor water was available. What was not available? Food was not available. What else was not available? Water also was not available. Is it singular or plural? Should be plural because food and water, two things are there. According to our first rule, it should be Food and water were not available. That should be the correct form. But when we are using any of these words, or, nor, either or, neither nor, then we are taking a singular verb. Neither food nor water was available, not were available. It should be was available. Why? Because neither was coming. Neither food nor water was available. Either Reena or Meena is there. Suppose you are going to an office, then you ask, will there be somebody? Yes, there are two people working in the office. Either Reena or Meena is there. Not are there, is there. Because we have used either. Either Reena or Meena is there. There is a not there, not one. When the subjects connected by or, nor are of different numbers, the verb should be plural. And the plural subject should be placed near the verb. Neither Rohit nor his friends were present. So what is the rule saying? When the subjects connected by or, nor, nor are of different numbers. See, here it is connected with the nor. When the subjects are connected with the or, nor, nor, then what happens? The subjects are of different numbers. The subjects are of different numbers. We have here two nouns, two subjects are there. Who are there? What are the subjects? One is Rohit, another one is his friends. His friends. Two subjects are there. If the subjects are of different numbers, if they are of the same numbers, no problem. That is what you mean by, what you understand by of different numbers. One is a singular and another is a plural. If both are plural, okay, no problem. If both are singular, no problem. When it is a combination of both, two different persons, two different subjects, one is a singular, one is a plural, then what happens? The verb should be plural and the plural subject should be placed near the verb. Then the verb is plural. It takes a plural verb. W-E-R-E. So neither Rohit nor his friends were present, not was present. Why? Because there are two numbers, one is singular and one is plural. When there is a combination of two subjects of different numbers, you must take a plural verb and place it close to the plural subject. Place it close to the plural subject. I told you already there are two subjects. One is Rohit, another one is his friend. Rohit is singular, his friend is plural. You must take a plural verb and place it close to the plural subject. Therefore, it should be neither Rohit nor his friend were present. We should not put here neither Rohit's friend. It will not come here. It has to come here. And it has to be here. We cannot say neither his friends, neither Rohit's friends and Rohit were present. No. This has to be a format. First singular word and plural followed by the verb. Nitin or his brothers are to be blamed. Nitin or his brothers are to be blamed. Why plural verb? Because there are two different numbers. Nitin is singular and brothers is a plural. Therefore, we will take a plural verb and it has to be placed close to the plural verb brothers. Next rule in that when the subjects joined by or, nor are of different persons, the verb agrees in person with the one nearest to it. As either you or he is correct. Neither my friend nor I am sorry. When the subjects joined by or nor are of different persons, the verb agrees in person with the one nearest to it. As it is, either you or he is correct. So what is close to the verb? He is correct. He is close to. Therefore, it will take a singular verb. He. Either you or he. There are two things there. We'll look at. You. Either you or he is correct. Either you or he is correct or right, whatever. So, either you or he is right or he is correct. So, what do you look at the rule once again? When the subjects joined by or, nor, and nor are of different persons. Here it's a you, plural. This is singular. The verb agrees in person with the one nearest to it. Which is nearest to the verb? It is he. Is it singular or plural? It is singular. Therefore, it will take a singular verb is. This is plural, but it does not take what is close to the verb it takes. What is close is singular here. Therefore, he is right or he is correct. Neither my friend nor I am sorry. Neither my friend nor I am sorry. Close to one is I, singular, therefore I am sorry. But it is better to write, that is a grammatical point. It's a grammatical point. But it's better to write either you are correct or he is. Either you or he is correct. Instead of that, you must write either you are correct, comma, or he is. Similarly, neither my friend nor I am sorry. Better expression is neither my friend is sorry nor I am. Doesn't matter. It's not that important. We can leave it. We'll go to number F. A collective noun takes a singular verb if the idea of oneness is expressed by the collective noun. If the collective noun connotes the individuals of the collection, the verb must be plural. There is a large number of pupils in the class. A number of students were rewarded. We'll take up one example. There is a large number of pupils in the class. So what is the rule? A collective noun takes a singular verb. What is a collective noun? Collective noun is a noun referring to a collection, a collection, a collection as a whole. Example, pupils, students, class, etc. So a collective noun takes a singular verb if the idea of oneness is expressed by the collective noun. If it is expressed, oneness is expressed. If the collective noun connotes the individuals of the collection, the verb must be plural. So what is a class? A class is a collection of students. It's a collection of students. What is a school of fish? It is a school of fish. What is a school of a fish? It's a collection of fish. So if you are using school of fish and if you are meaning the entire collection, then you must is expressing oneness. But if it is meant for every fish, each fish of the collection or each student of the class, referring to the individuals, the verb must be plural. If it is referring to only the class or group, then it is a singular. For example, here, there is a large number of pupils in the class. Here it is, there is a large number of pupils. What's the meaning of pupils? Pupils is students. Students. There is a large number of students in the class. Now it is referring to one person or pupils as a group. It is referring to single group. It is referring to pupils as a group. Therefore, you must use a singular verb. There is a large number of pupils in the class. Suppose you are going to refer to every person in the class, then it should be plural. There is a large number of pupils in the class. A number of students were rewarded. A number of students were rewarded. Here it's plural. Why? A number of students were rewarded means they are taking each person who was rewarded, each student who was rewarded is taken separately, not as a collection, not as a group. Therefore, it is plural. A number of students were rewarded. We'll go to question next point G. If two nouns are joined by with or as well as, the verb agrees with the first noun. That is, if the first noun is singular, the verb must be singular, even if the second noun is plural, as the king with all his sons was arrested. The king with all his sons was arrested. You look at the rule G. If two nouns are joined by with or as well as, so this rule is regarding combining of subjects using with, W-I-T-H, with or as well as. If we are using these, any of these, to combine two subjects, then what happens? The verb agrees with the first noun, that is, if the first noun is singular, the verb must be singular, even if the second noun is plural. the verb agrees with the first noun. Which is the first noun here? There are two nouns. Which are they? One is king, another one is his son. Which is the first noun? It is king. So the verb agrees with the first noun, even though there is a plural noun. So here the king is the first one. The verb agrees with the first noun, king. The king was arrested with all his sons. The king was arrested. Not the king with all his sons were arrested. No. Because we are used with to combine nouns. Or when we are using as well as also, as well as, the same rule holds true. The king with all his sons was arrested. Suresh, as well as his friends, has failed the examination. Suresh, as well as his friends, has failed the examination. How many people are there? There are many. Suresh is there, his friends are there. Suresh is singular, his friends is plural. Put together it should be plural, but it is singular because we are using as well as. Suresh, as well as his friends, has failed the examination. Iron, as well as coal, is found in Jharkhand. Jharkhand is known for its iron resources. Iron as well as coal is found in Jharkhand. Iron as well as coal. Iron is one thing, coal is another thing. It should be plural, but we are using singular verb because the first one here is iron and is combined with as well as. So, just at the back of your memory, back of your head, you keep this one. If two nouns are combined using as well as or with, then the verb takes a singular form. Whatever may be the first noun, the verb takes that. If it is here it is king, it's a singular. Therefore, it takes a singular verb. We will go to next rule. H. Either, neither, each, everyone, many a must be followed by a verb in the singular. As everyone was given a prize. So this is speaking about either, neither, each, everyone, many a. Either, neither, each, everyone. When we are using any of these, either, neither, each, everyone, many a. I think you are familiar with all of this. Either, neither, each, everyone. Many a is used to suppose many a people have tried. You studied Merchant of Venice last year. So how many suitors were there? Oh, so many of them were there. So you can say, instead of saying many suitors came to make a selection of the casket, you can say many a suitor came to select the casket. Many a suitor. Many a suitor means so many. Many a suitor. He is the first noun in singular. Sorry, neither nor etc. followed by a verb in the singular. Verb in the singular. So same example if we consider. Many suitors came to select the casket in order to win Portia. Many suitors came. Many suitors came to select the casket and win Portia. Many a suitor came, many a suitor, and many a suitor. So when we use many a suitor, we will be using singular. The example given here, let's look at one. Everyone was given a prize. See now how many students are there in the 11th class in our school? 69. Suppose all were given a prize. Everyone in the 11th class was given a prize. All the 69. Everyone was given a prize. How many people were there? 69. 69 people. Is it singular or plural? It should be plural. And he must be using a plural verb. But we are using was. Why? Because everyone is used here. Everyone. So either, neither, each, everyone, many. If any of these things are used, then we use singular. Either of the two leaders is competent. Either of the two leaders is competent. Many a boy is tempted to do mischief. Many a boy is tempted to do mischief. So, the previous example we are saying, speaking about Portia and the suitors. Actually, if we are not using many, then what should be the form? Many suitors have come to try. Many suitors have come to try their luck. Many suitors have come to try their luck. That should be plural. But when we are using many, it changes to singular. Many a suitor has come. Many a suitor has come to try. So in this case, this is a particular case, the use of none. You can use singular or you can use plural, both are correct. None of them is coming tonight is correct, none of them are coming also is correct. When none of is used with a plural noun or pronoun. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word used in the place of a noun. Rajesh is a good boy. He studies in class 11th. So he is a pronoun. So when none of is used with a plural noun or pronoun or a singular noun that refers to a group of people or things, both singular and plural verbs can be used. For example, none of them is coming tonight. None of them are coming tonight. Another example, none of the family was present. You can say, or you can say, none of the family were present. Both are correct. Both are correct. So these are some of the exceptions.